Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Free Thinking the Culture podcast with your boy, Noir, just in case you didn't know, in case this is your first time here. So, without further ado, let's get to why you're really here, all right? First up on the docket, Johnny Depp is now being sued by the ACLU. And before you rush to judgment, let's break down as to why he's being sued by the ACLU, all right? Via Twitter is where I found out this information, thanks to Society Unrestricted. Um, Update: Johnny Depp versus the ACLU, New York City. New York City, of course. The ACLU has filed to be reimbursed for their time and cost of document prep to the tune of $86,253.26. Y'all petty as hell for that. But okay, we go continue. There are rules that provide for these. See below. There's a hearing set that has been reset to June 15th of 2022. All right. So further into these documents, let's go. And I'm going to go ahead and blow this up for you guys so that you may be able to see it. It says, please take notice that upon this memorandum of law in support of respondents' motion for production expenses, the affirmation of Stephanie Teplin and exhibits attached thereto, and all other pleadings and proceedings in this case, respondents America Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, for those of you who don't know, Foundation, Benjamin Wisner and Anthony Romero, by and through their counsel. Patterson Belknap, Webb, and Tyler LLP will move this court located at the Motion Submission Park room 130 60 Central Street, New York, New York 10007 on May 4th, 2022 at 9:30 a.m. or as soon therefore as counsel can be heard for reimbursement for production expenses totaling $86,253.26. Which respondents incurred in complying with three non-party subpoenas, Ducis Tecum, served by petitioner John C. Depp, of course that's Johnny Depp II. Please take further notice. The pursuant to CPLR 2214B, any answering affidavits, informations, and or notices of cross motion with supporting papers in response to the motion shall be served, sorry about that, and filed at least 7 days before the return date of this motion, i.e. on or before April 27, 2022. And respondents may serve any reply papers thereto on or before May 3rd, 2022. All right, so with that being said, let's continue. New York CPLR 3122D provides that the reasonable production expenses, that's expenses for those of you who may be confused about that, expenses that they feel that were resources that they had to take away from their main purpose to be moved towards this to help out with that case. So they're not obligated to pay the manpower of them pulling documents to provide for a third party source. This is what I'm getting from this, but let's continue, all right? It says may a non-parties counsel fees related to responding to a subpoena involving the production of electronically stored information be included as reasonable production expenses, which basically means they can charge you for that. All right. The Queens County Surrogates Court recently answered this question in matter of Coggan. Brian Corrigan discusses the decision in our latest post. Now, if you were like me and you just heard this randomly, and I've known about this a couple of hours, but I had other stuff going on, so I'm just getting to it. If you heard about this earlier, you were furious because you were like, how dare they, the ACLU, charge Johnny Depp for something like this, when there's actually laws, unfortunately, in place for saying if this is outside basically the scope of your business, you can charge for recoup to be able to pay off your people, the manpower that you use, the resources or whatever. Now, here's the problem with me. How much of an effort, ACLU, did it take for you to go into the computers and say Amber Heard, Johnny Depp, to narrow that search down to this, to be able to provide the courts that? Is it worth almost $90,000? I can't tell somebody how much to charge. I cannot. But what I would say was, I don't think it's almost $90,000 worth. Maybe $9,000, maybe that. But there just goes to show how much effort they put into providing these documents. What went into that? That part I do not know. So I'm almost kind of like, here with that. But still, it's not almost $90,000 worth. I don't care. How much are they paying the people at ACLU? Do I need to get a job there? Because if it's paying anything like that, I'll look up documents for y'all all day if it's paying almost 90K. I would take on all the subpoenas that y'all got coming in ACLU if y'all go pay me $90,000 per case to pull records from a computer, knowing the damn computer is doing all the work. But we just go ahead and continue. I'm going to lay off the ACLU and let's go directly to the comments because, of course, they're not happy. All right, the first comment says the ACLU wants Depp to reimburse them for nearly 90K for documents. I agree. All of which was at their fingertips. I agree. All right. If only they had used this energy to vet Amber Heard's abuse allegations. When I tell you I held my chest when they said this, y'all did not have to come at them like this. Now, granted, the ACLU really, technically, they should have vetted Amber Heard's story a little bit more thoroughly. I'm just gonna say that. Not saying that every person that goes to the ACLU or in support of ACLU, do they have to look as deeply? But when it's a high profile case, especially like this, you need to be cautious on what you're doing. When you make people ambassadors, you need to double check, triple check to make sure that you are supporting the correct thing. I'm not saying just grill everybody and make them feel more victimized than they are. But when you are putting an organization behind somebody like an Amber Heard, you are putting yourself at the risk of then being attacked by the court of public opinion, of course. Unfortunately, here we are. Next, we would like to know when ACLU intends to remove Amber Heard as the ambassador for domestic violence survivors. You continue to support an abuser is an effort, affront to the victims and survivors everywhere. ACLU can't go after Amber Turd. Y'all not gonna let that woman live that name down, but okay. After Amber Turd for pledging $8.5 million as it would embarrass the F out of them. So they are suing Johnny Depp for partial in the name of being reimbursed. My bad, I hit the desk. They are ghetto AF. Don't know who is worse. Them are on the psychopath gold digging turd. All I'm gonna say is the Twitter has a good point when it comes to this. I almost would like to say that they probably should have waited until the end result of this trial, at least till the verdict is over with, before they did anything like this. I would almost prefer them to charge whoever loses in this case the check for this. Let's say if Johnny wins this, I would have forwarded the bill to Amber Heard and say, you need to pay this because we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. I would almost rather prefer that and that method of reimbursement. So that way it could have been like, okay, well, Johnny did lose the case, so he got some people to repay. Okay, I probably would have went that way with it. But that's me. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments, all right? But another reason why we're here and why this makes it even worse. Oh, wait. Hold on real quick. Before we get to that, another comment that made me look deeper into it. My bad. I'm moving too fast. I looked over the documents and they say that they aren't asking for what they spent filing motions and resisting production, just what they spent searching for and reviewing documents responsible to his request. They are entitled to something legally, but how much is the question? Okay, I'm sorry. So I'm sorry about that for skipping over that section. This goes back to what really made me look deeper into it before I really started making judgment. People are entitled to being reimbursed for manpower. That's something. Again, this is outside of the scope of their normal business. So I can see them saying, we need to recoup this for the extra man hours we had to pay out. I can see that point. That's what made me kind of look and say, okay, I get it a little bit. So if you can look at it from that way, let me know what you think. Do you think that that's fair or do you not think that that's fair? But okay, so now that we've addressed that, Amber Heard has a bigger situation on her hands. This caught my eye. Thanks again to Society Unrestricted. Catch her on YouTube and on Twitter and wherever else you can find her. She's amazing. All right. The judge from the UK trial found that Amber knowingly made false statements under oath and pleaded guilty, but found her credible with the F from the UK judgment. All right. So we'll come back to this little blurred out part that you're not seeing because it's a part 2 to this. All right. Depp versus Heard UK bombshell number 2. So in the UK, the judge knew that Amber had asked the people to make false statements to the authorities. He still believed her claims and ignored the evidence. What the hell, UK? Here lies the problem with that. I've heard before of how trash the UK legal system is. Do not quote me on this. I've heard it. I've seen it on Twitter. I'm not saying it is true, but if this is true, that you knew that this woman was lying and you knew that she manipulated witnesses, UK, you have a bigger issue on your hands because now what you've did, you've allowed lies to be admitted into courts as the truth. What that has done now is trickled down to the U.S. courts, and Amber was able to now use that as facts. When really it wasn't facts, it was a made-up storyline that she herself curated and you produced as a whole ass production. You assisted in her getting to this point. UK, you have now made it wide open for now yourself to be investigated on why you allowed this to happen. That's on you. That's not on us. That's on you. And rightfully so. I hope the United Nations or somebody comes down and says you need to be evaluated and we need to restructure how the law is done, because what we the people now say, if we can't go to the justice system to actually get real justice, to get unaltered evidence, to get things that are going off facts versus feelings and illogical situations, then who in the hell can we go to? We can't come to you because you're allowing somebody like Amber Heard to get on and tell us lies. Where does that leave us as a real victim, if Johnny is a real victim in this case? Notice I'm saying if, because I don't know. None of us were there, are not there. We do know he's went through incidents. I know that he's a victim of certain things with the finger and all of that. I know that. However, I'm not there. I think they both go through situations. I don't know. Again, I'm not there. I'm not taking nobody's side. I'm just here. However, I do feel a lot worse for Johnny Depp than I did before. Not saying that I didn't feel for him before, but now I'm really getting to see the inside scoop on what was really going on in their household. It was hell, apparently. All right? But let's go. Let me see. Went over that. This was the part that was blurred out that I want to get back to. I'm sorry about that. The offense to which Ms. Heard pleaded guilty involved knowingly making a false statement. As Ms. Callahan said, this was not, that was not a trivial offense. So basically, they overlooked her lying, and they said, "Oh, it's not a big deal. It's fine. It's fine. It's not fine, but okay." But its nature is so far removed from the evidence which Ms. Heard gave in this trial that its relevance for her credibility is marginal at most. Let me tell you something. One thing in court that I've seen a lot of times, if you line on something small can turn into something big. This U.S. case is something big. So for you to say it's marginal at best or at most, I'm sorry, let me not quote you. It's very damaging to where we are now. This is a problem, UK. And it's a problem that you guys overlooked this and just so nonchalantly just said, it'll be okay. Just that small little white lie, it won't hurt. It won't hurt the situation. It has hurt a lot. There are people have been damaged from the situation. You got people in this case lying. You have people trying to cover up for Amber Heard. You have people trying to come up with facts that aren't there. It's so bad that TMZ had to come out, and TMZ very slickly did some commentary that basically kind of said that Amber did send him that stuff. Not the guy that sat on the case. The other with Harvey. If you go back and notice it was a recent episode that dropped. Harvey actually kind of gave you a hint, but he did it very slick. So just pay attention. But I would like to know what you guys think about this episode of Amber Heard, Johnny Depp, and now ACLU. Let me know your comments down below. Do you think that it's right that ACLU is asking for payment, or do you feel like they should just say, set it and forget it? Do you think, no, you've done enough damage, you don't deserve any pay? Let me know whether it's good or bad. I want to know your comments because this is what pushes the culture forward. We all should have an input in this. And right now, this is going to be a culture shift no matter which way it turns. If Amber Heard end up getting away with this, it's going to say, no matter what you provide in court, she's going to be seen as innocent. Or if Johnny Depp finally wins with this, it's going to say, okay, first of all, we already know men can be victims of domestic abuse. We just don't talk about it enough. But what it will do, it will make the courts take it a lot more seriously because it's a trickle-down effect. So what do you think about that? I'm anxious to hear your thoughts. And this has actually been another episode of Free Thinking the Culture. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you guys think. And until then, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.